So in this episode, we are going to talk about what is Flaplive and the journey of Flaplive, the roadmap or the runway of Flaplive, and so basically I'm going to give you a large insights, in-depth insights about how it started and how it's going. So coming down to the game, let's talk about Flaplive. So before Flaplive, as I've told you in the last episode, it was known as RAT, Report Anytime. So what happens in Report Anytime is that initial idea was that we would get the footages from different users. We would onboard a lot of users across globe, and they would send us any breaking news content footages real time. So let's in that way. And then there would be a moderation team who would be constantly in touch with all the media agencies across India, and we would sell that content selling, and we would share the revenues with the let's say content providers and us. However, since I've told you that I was a part of a startup television show which is known as MTV Dropout. So over there, I met great people, great participants who have given me insights and also learnings. So they have advised me to come up with a name. I would actually give this credit to one of the assistant director. I would not take the name, I'm not sure. So he has advised me that you come up with a name which has a positive impact and which resonates with your business model. So it was in 2017 wherein I have changed the name to Flaplive. And then I met a great soul known as who was a part of Flaplive for almost 2 years. He is a very subtle founder, and he himself was a startup founder also. He has done a couple of startups in the past, and through that journey, he was a techie. So through that journey, we started bootstrapping. We hired employees, and in between, I've started working for a Bengaluru company. Through that journey, we tried coming up with a solution for Flaplive. Flaplive is very complex. However, through that, so that's the journey. That's the start of Flaplive. And post that, as I've told you in the last episode that I was doing consulting, so then Ravi got busy with his own assignments, and then I had to, run the show all by myself. And since Flaplive was the heart and soul for me, so I've started consulting. With whatever money I made, I used to pay my employees in developing the projects, the consulting projects, and at the same time parallelly developing Flaplive. There were many pivots to Flaplive, many designs for Flaplive. There were many logo changes initially, and the business plan, how it works is so not every idea or every prototype is fully developed. It was like a cocoon. So slowly, once we started developing, we have started receiving a lot of challenges, a lot of keywords. I had a multiple set of ideas. So I've changed those ideas. The complete user experience model was changed. And then it took me around 7 years to form this company, this product known as Flaplive. How different is Flaplive coming down to other social media platforms is, so let's take the current scenario, okay, of India-Pakistan war. So we were getting a lot of fake footages, right? Because the content which was aired years ago, that was actually taken now and given titles and aired as right now this is the situation in Pakistan or in India or in Kashmir. So what Flaplive does is Flaplive, you can only go live. You can you can stream only live content. So there are 3 options for this. One is go live, and the other one is shoot, something very similar to Reels. And then you have feeds, that is create a post, something similar to Instagram posts, wherein you can upload your photographs, write blogs in there. And going live through hyperlocalization, what happens in Flaplive is when you download the app, you would fall under 5 networks. One is your local area, your local area, your city, state, and then country. That's how the networks are auto-created. Whereas we take the use case of other social media platforms like Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, or let's say Twitter as well. It doesn't capture the location. And if you go, you see a food video in any of the other social media platforms, you would have to ask for location. So what happens in Flaplive is you go live or you create a shoot, You directly go to the restaurant chain, you go live, you pause it, you can add titles to it, and you can select the genre in the camera itself, and then once you stream that footage, the location is auto captured, that is exact precise location. So whenever another viewer or a user is actually watching that footage, if they want to go to that restaurant or to that particular incident's place, they can click on the location below the footage and directly get navigated to there. That is one of the unique feature of Flaplive. And similar to shoots, we are also integrating TikTok music, or we are trying to get in music rights. We are a bootstrap startup. I don't have any investors. When I say we, I represent Flaplive. So I have a very small, great developer team. I used to have a designing team. Prior to this, just few months before, I used to own at least 4 to 5 businesses, which I have closed. And because when you get to the age of, let's say, close to 40s, at this point of time, I have done, with all my experience, I've done multiple startups, multiple businesses. However, you need to focus on only one thing. So I know the Flaplive potential. We are talking about live listings. Through Flaplive, we are talking about live listings. You can do live e-commerce through hyperlocalization. Let's say you want to get into auditions, you can create a movement over there, and the audition, let's say, agency can actually get auditions directly from Flaplive. We are talking about hiring from Flaplive. We are talking about integrating Gen AI and AI into this. So in the next phase, that's in a couple of months, we will be integrating AI module through machine learning. What happens is, once we get a lot of data, so because this is live, there is a high percentage of chance that people might upload or live stream nudity, or let's say live stream violence, blood. So what Flaplive does is, because every live stream has a latency of 15 to 20 seconds, Flaplive would leverage that latency, and through machine learning and AI implementation, we would blur the content. And we are also trying to integrate language neutralization into this, and also integrate speech recognition through multiple language jargons. Through that, if it understands any hate speech, it's going to blur. It's going to mute the content. So that's how Flaplive AI first phase is going to get integrated. And in the second phase, we are going to come up with a complete business-to-business model. So let's say you as a user, how is it beneficial for you? So you as a user, you can come up with content selling, and you can also create community, let's say community tourism information boosting. Since this is hyper-localized, let's say you are a part of Goa, and in Goa you have many places, right? So you're part of one particular place which is known as Mandarin. Okay, in Mandarin you can actually promote the culture, you can promote the food outlets, you can actually promote what is happening, the major let's say events which are happening in Mandarin. That's through hyperlocalization. So whenever a tourist visits this place, when they open Flaplive, they'll get all the footages of it. They'll be able to navigate there. They'll be able to understand the culture. They'll be able to promote the local businesses and local tourism as well. So that's how Flaplive has a lot of possibilities. The core focus is to ensure that we become the world's first content generator, and we want to outbeat Thomson Reuters. Of course, when you have ambitions, you would also want to become, you want to give the world the best competition. And since we are bootstrapped, we are not controlled by any government. We are not controlled by any organization as well. We are not biased to anyone. We will ensure the right footage is actually shown to the right people, and that's the true footage. So that's the benefit of Flaplive. Thank you guys.